So this is a story about the time that I worked at Chipotle for 3 days and then I quit. Right now I'm wearing this merch. It's a sand cloud. I actually have a discount code for you guys and they're really, it's a really good company. If you guys want 25% off of anything on the SandCloud site, you can use the code YouTube25. I will leave it in the link below. But if you guys want to get a cool shirt like this, they also have leggings, they have towels, they have lots of cool stuff. So if you guys want to get any of that, I'll leave it all in the description below. Around last summer, I needed a job, and my friend works at Chipotle, has worked at the Chipotle in my town since it opened. So I knew that she could get me a job there, and I knew that it was like a possibility that she could very well, you know, get me a job. So I interviewed, I got the job, and I really didn't know what to expect. I never worked in food service before. I've only ever worked as a cashier. I've never prepared food, never done any of that, and it was really, it wasn't very fun. So so my first week they scheduled me 5 days, and it was like every day of the week from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., which is like a school day. It was a lot. It was very overwhelming, especially for, you know, being my first week. So basically they were training me my first week, and it was the most like physical work I've ever had to do in a job. And I give a lot of credit to people who work at Chipotle or any food service job, because it's actually really fucking difficult, and I'm gonna give you guys an example. So I walk in my first day and they show me where everything is in the back, and then they have someone train me and teach me like how to, you know, make stuff in the bowl and everything. So I was basically like preparing the salsa and preparing all of that for the day. So if I messed up, then like it messed up the whole flow of the store, because I needed to have all the salsa done before the store opened at 10:45. And I had never been more stressed out in my life. We had to grate cheese. So the cheese you have at Chipotle, someone grates that in a huge cheese grater. So they give you like 8 blocks of cheese, and you have to push down on this fucking cheese grater until you've grated all the blocks of cheese that they give you. And I was sweating so much. So, okay, so I did that, I prepared that, and then it came time for me to work on the line. And the line is where you prepare people's food. I started doing that, and it was the most stress I've, like, people, first of all, oh my god, it was so much. People were like, oh, can I get white rice but a little bit extra, and a little more chicken, a little extra chicken? And I was like, what does extra mean? Like a double scoop, like 3 scoops? Like, I don't know what the fuck extra means. And I was just so confused. And people, I'd scoop rice into people's bowls and they'd be like, oh, can I get a little more? And I'm like, what do you mean by a little more? Because a little more is... And Chipotle had a very like specific way of doing things, and they wanted me to like place the sour cream on the bowls in like a very like pretty nice way, and I just kept slopping it on because I didn't know how to do it. And they kept saying like, Mia, you have to do it nicely, it has to look nice. And I also could not for the life of me roll a fucking burrito. I was never going to learn how to roll a burrito. I don't know how to drive. I have no hand-eye coordination. There was no way in hell, there was no way that I was going to fucking learn how to roll a burrito. So then the second day came around, and I was like, you know what, I'll give it a second try. Maybe it was just a bad first day. And the second day was even worse. It was one of the most tiring days of my entire life, and I'm not exaggerating. It was very, very exhausting. Also, the thing I wasn't used to is at my old jobs, you could clock out. Like, if you were done at 3, you could clock out. But at Chipotle, you had to ask the manager if there was anything else they needed you to do before you could leave for the day. And I was not used to that. I was used to just leaving when I was done. So even though it said you were done at 3, you were actually technically done at like 3:30 or 3:15, because you had to do other chores like sweep and all of that stuff. So the second day, I don't really remember much. I just remember being so exhausted and so like defeated and so angry. And then the third day came around, and this was the last day for me. And by this time I had given up, completely given up. And the person training me, I remember when I was on the line, putting people's like food into the bowls and stuff like that, she kept saying like, Mia, like, where is your head today? And I just like, I was done, because I knew for a fact that after that day I wasn't going to be back. Like, I knew I was going to quit. And it was so strenuous and just awful. And it gave me so much respect for food workers, because it's such a fucking hard industry and you're on your feet for 8 hours. So I wrote a note to the boss, and that's why I quit. I texted him that I didn't think it was the right job for me. And I made $168 in 3 days, so that was pretty good, but it was just not worth the money because it was awful. So I'm actually going to read you guys the note that I wrote the boss. Hi, blank. I know it's only been 3 days, but I'm not feeling like the job at Chipotle is well suited to me. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to try. However, I'd like to have today be my last day, as it doesn't seem fair to continue to work over the weekend when I've already decided the job is not a good fit for me. I can return the uniform. I never return the uniform, by the way, over by Sunday. Thank you for your time, and please thank blank for her time training me this week. Like, ever since this happened, I've kind of been telling people randomly, I just say, oh yeah, I worked at Chipotle for 3 days and then I quit. Like, I just think it's kind of funny. So I've been wanting to make a video about it for a while. This wasn't really that funny. It was more informative. And also to let you guys know that next time you see a Chipotle worker or just any food service worker, fucking ask them how their day is. Don't be rude. You know, say please, say thank you, have some fucking respect, because they've been on their feet for 8 hours. They're tired. They're sweating. They don't want to be there. If you guys want me to, I'll make a whole separate video about being a retail worker and what that entails and how fucking frustrating it is. So yeah, that was my experience working at Chipotle. So if you want more story times like this, give it a thumbs up, let me know, comment below. Yeah, I don't get enough comments, and because of that, I get very sad at night and I go on Twitter and search death, and that's all your fault. So thank you guys so much for watching. The SandCloud stuff is in the description below if you guys want to get a shirt or anything like that. Again, you get 25% off with the code YouTube25. So yeah, I think that you're really cool. I think you're awesome. I'm talking to myself. I thought I would include that to show you guys that even people like me have to give themselves pep talks. Okay, well, I'm gonna go, but if you want, like, so you guys.